Hello class. Today we're going to talk about a new method of finding derivatives because the method that we use, the power rule, doesn't work in every situation, or it's unable to work in every situation. And so today we're going to talk about finding derivatives using the product rule. And we use the product rule when finding the derivative of two functions that are multiplied together. So when I say two functions, I mean that both factors must have an x in them. So here we have, if we have some function, large f of x is equal to f of x times g of x. If we have two functions multiplied to each other, we have to use the product rule. And that is that large f prime of x is equal to just f of x, and then take the derivative of g of x, plus take the derivative of f of x times just g of x. Okay? So again, just f of x, take the derivative of g of x plus the derivative of f of x plus g of x. So let's go ahead and go through this here. So you don't have to do a table. Sometimes you can do a table. I'm just going to do a table just this first example, maybe the first couple examples, just so we have an idea here. But if you get good enough at it, you don't need to do a table. So let's identify our f and g of x. Well, actually, you know what? I should have made this big f of x if I'm going to define something, a small f of x. Okay. So f of x is equal to, let's say it's 3x. And g of x is equal to this 2x squared minus 4x plus 5. Well, let's find the derivatives of both of these, because we're going to eventually have to find the derivatives of them. So the derivative of 3x, we can just use the power rule here. So think about how the power rule is embedded within this product rule. So the derivative of 3x, remember if x is the first power, it just goes away. So the derivative is just 3. Oh, that's f prime, sorry about that. And g prime of x is equal to, let's see, we're going to multiply the power to the coefficient. So it's going to be 4x, and then lower the power by 1, so just 4x. And then this linear term, the term with just to the first power, the x just goes away, so it's minus 4, and then the 5 goes away since it's a constant. So now we have our f of x, f prime of x, g of x, and g prime of x defined. So we can go ahead and just write it, just like this. So we have f prime of x is equal to f of x, so 3x, times g of x, or sorry, times g prime of x, so that's going to be this 4x minus 4, plus f prime of x, which is just 3, times g of x, so 2x squared minus 4x plus 5. And that's it. We just took the derivative. So the derivative of this mess is this down here. I wouldn't recommend taking multiple derivatives this way. I mean, unless you absolutely have to. Like in the past, when we were doing the power rule, we just kept taking derivatives because it was easy. But notice that this is another product rule we'll have to use if we wanted to get the second derivative. So we'd have to do it again. So it'd be longer, and then this, well, this is not a product rule anymore. Notice how if I took the derivative of this, I wouldn't have to use the product rule because this factor, this 3 factor, doesn't have an x in it. So this I could actually just use the power rule on. So yeah, let's take a look at a few more examples. Okay, so now we have f of x, and again, I'm going to just make it large f of x. Is equal to x plus 4 times 3x squared minus 5x minus 10. So again, like I said, once you get good at it, you don't have to do the table, but I kind of like doing it at first, just when we're first getting used to it. So let's define our f of x and g of x. So f of x is x plus 4. And g of x is this 3x squared minus 5x minus 10. Okay, so now let's take the derivative of both. So the derivative of f of x is going to just be 1, right? Because this constant 4 goes away, and the x goes away, just leaving the coefficient, and the coefficient of this x is just 1. And then g prime of x is, let's see, 2 times 3 is going to give us 6x, and the x lowers a power, so this squared goes to just a first power. And then the linear term, the x goes away, so it's minus 5, and the constant goes away completely. So let's put this into the form here. I'll write it again. F of x, or f prime of x, is equal to f of x, f of g. I goofed. F of x times g prime of x plus f prime of x times g of x. Okay, so let's see here. F of x. So large F prime of x is going to equal to f of x, which is x plus 4, times g prime, which is going to be 6x minus 5, plus f prime of x, 1, times g of x, which is 3x squared minus 5x minus 10. And there we have it. That's the derivative of this large f of x function. So let's do a couple more here, just so we get some more good examples down. Okay, again, we'll start off defining our f of x and g of x. So f of x is 3x squared minus 7x. And g of x is 4x cubed plus 10x plus 1. So now to find the derivatives, because we'll need both of them. Derivative of this, let's see, 2 times 3 is 6, and the power goes down 1, so it's just going to be 6x. And then the linear term loses its x, so just minus 7. And then here g of x, we'll get g prime of x. And 3 times 4 is 12. The power is going to go down 1, so the cube is going to go to a square, so 12x squared. The linear term, the x goes away, so it's just plus 10. And there we have it. We can put it into our product rule formula. So we have, again, I should probably fix this, capital F. So f prime of x is equal to f of x, which is 3x squared minus 7x, times g prime of x, so 12x squared plus 10, times f prime of x, plus f prime of x, so plus 6x minus 7, times g of x, 4x cubed plus 10x plus 1. And that's it. Notice how messy this one would especially get if we had to find the second derivative through this method. This is one of these guys up here. We have an f of x and a g of x, and then we'd have to do it again. This is an f of x and a g of x, so it would be twice as long, which is no fun. So, all right, let's do one more example just to kind of get it ingrained in our heads here. Ooh, I didn't even write f of x here. Okay, how silly. All right. So let's define our f of x and g of x. F of x is 12x. G of x is 4x, or sorry, x to the fourth plus x squared plus 8. Okay, so now let's find the derivatives of both. So f prime of x is just going to be 12. G prime of x is going to be, let's see, 4. We multiply it to the coefficient of this. The coefficient is just 1, so it's just going to be 4x. So 4x cubed, because the power goes down 1. And then this, multiply the 2 to the coefficient. The coefficient is just 1, so it's just going to be 2x. And the power goes down, so it's just 2x. And then the 8, the constant goes away. So now we have it. We can put it into our form. We have f prime of x is equal to f of x, which is 12x, times g prime of x, 4x cubed, plus 2x, plus f prime of x, which is 12, times g of x, x to the fourth, plus x squared, plus 8. And there we have it. So that is the product rule. So we have to be good at taking derivatives using the power rule in order to use the product rule. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Have a good day.